Um, yeah, that happened. Just, I don't know what happened here. Something not good. I tried to add a background to my cards because they were loading up good. I had them nice and showing up on the available side. I haven't got the code in yet to move them to the playbook side, but I was like, hey, these are looking pretty cool, but they need to have a background or some kind of layout that makes them look better. So I went and cleaned up my game card. All I did is put a background on it, put some better text display on, and then bam, everything broke. And when I say everything broke, I mean, well, not everything. Everything within the playbook broke. I don't have any idea what happened. Here, let me show you. This is the fun and games I've been trying to contend with since last night. Because it happened last night. Because I had just started putting in the background stuff, kind of making it look cool. And I was feeling pretty good about the way things were working and showing as I move on to the next phase of my efforts. But things kind of went downhill since then. Okay, so this is the simulator view. Now you can see a lot of my buttons work. This is my game scene where you're gonna go first, and you can pick your type of play, which of course none of this stuff works yet because I haven't implemented the actual simulation yet, but one thing at a time. That is kind of one of my next objectives, is start getting a little bit more of the simulation working. But the playbook, this happened. Note how my plays, well, that's actually, at least the images are there now. That's more than it was before. But notice how my text is all over the place. My images are bonkers. Everything is just totally out of sorts. So even when I zoom this, let's see if, stop it. So this is what I'm looking at. You can see my images have blown up into, everything's out of whack. This is actually better. This is the last thing I did to try to get things fixed, and it got the images back. And you can see the text is trying to put itself at the top. Not doing a very good job of it, but, and I have backgrounds. You can see I have the background here, but my images, I'll show you what it's supposed to look like. So when I go, so let's say if I stop this, then I go down to my prefabs. This is the card that's loading. Do we stop? Frame debugger. Oh, see. Okay. So I don't know what's going on there, but okay. So this is what my card looks like. Looks good. And now I noticed that another thing I learned the hard way is there's two versions of this. There is this scene. This is the scene that comes from the simulator. And then there's the game scene, which, as you can see, kind of pops off the screen a little bit there. But it looks the same now. That is not normal for them to look the same, by the way. That is not the standard situation. But notice how, oh, okay, so this is interesting. If I go like this, notice how they're inside this box when I'm in the simulator view, but when I'm in the game view, I'm outside the box. That's very interesting. I don't think I'm supposed to be outside the box. I wonder if that's throwing it off some. Stop it. Let's see if I can resize this somehow. Let's bring it into the box at least, right? Oh, look, how my text is not staying in the image. That's interesting. Everything kind of gets out of whack, even though they're supposed to be inside. They're set to stretch, which should put them inside the box, but I got to be inside the box. I think that is part of my maybe kind of sort of problem. I don't know what this, I just know the other, when I'm in game view scene, it's See how my image, that's my image. I don't know why. I'm just putting it in the box because I don't think it's supposed to be out of the box. See how, and then the X, it's like it's got transformative problems. See, it's like it's flipped upside down. That's why it does that. It's like it's trying to stay anchored, but yet it doesn't do a very good job of it. Now I do have auto size text, which I don't know, could be part of the problem too. I would think auto size text would be less of a problem. So even though everything here is set to stretch, which means it's supposed to stay within its container, you shrink it with a certain amount of padding and everything works. But you can see my items, which are not bound apparently to their parent. Oh, maybe it's because I shrank it with them set to middle center instead of don't know, man. I really, oh, I tell you, some things are just, so let's try and get this centered again. So my text area, which is this, is what all this stuff is based on. These guys are supposed to be in there. All right, so we got them kind of sort of back in there. I will try to see if I can get them to be a little more Now, I know if I want things to stretch and shape according to their expectation, they all kind of have to be set to stretch. This is a result of if you want things to grow and not get all distorted, you kind of have to go all stretch. Typically. Just means it stretches the same in all directions when they shrink. Then you're supposed to set padding, which is kind of what they have right now. They have a padding, so it's. But I think that gets them over squished. Like if they shrink too small, like you don't necessarily want them. I don't know. You kind of want everything to proportionally shrink. I don't know. It's weird. The stretching and stuff, it works sometimes if you know how it's set up, but it's kind of weird. Probably should upgrade my image. I probably don't want this to be that much. That's probably too high. Let's lower this. I want more image, less text. There we go. Oops, that's kind of overlapping, but that's fine. And then set this to 80. Whoops. Huh? That's way too much. Why did that go so high? 40. Now we're all inverted again. Look at see how the lines get all weird? Then I gotta go anchor. I don't know. All right, let's try this again. Oh. Trying to get everybody back the way I had it 2 seconds ago as I increase my image space, reduce this, and get it within the box. Because I had it within the box before on the other side. It's just weird because I didn't realize there's actually 2 versions of this when you're developing, and it makes things very, very painful to work with. Because now I got to figure out if I got it. Now it says, now, nope. I don't even know what to put this at. There you go. Now what I don't care for is how my text looks all weird. See how my text is gigantic, even though it's the same size box? Because I have it set to auto size, the font. Fixed fonts don't work if your things shrink to the point where your font isn't that big. Right? So if you're changing the size, fixed fonts can be a problem. Because, let's see what happens. If I set the font size of my text and the screen shrinks, what happens to the text? Does it shrink? Or does it get messed up? It no longer fits. See, I don't want it doing that or that. It has to resize. You have to resize it. That's just all there is to it. Let it auto size so that it can shrink accordingly. Now I could probably make this get a little smaller simply by squeezing the text box. Kind of let it cheat because I know it's a bigger space. The problem is, and that one has to be set to bottom, or I have to move it. Nope, that won't work. So basically I'm forcing these to be smaller by way of shrinking their boxes. Kind of cheats them into the appropriate size for what they are. $98. Okay, let's try this again. We'll save. And see if being inside the parent box matters. I don't know. I feel like that could have something to do with why things were broken. But I don't know. Let's see. No. We still have, look. We still have this weird state. Look. I mean, we can kind of see stuff, but you could see how my text is still just completely and totally mangled. It's not fitting. It's not resizing to the grid. It's basically doing nothing. I'm getting my plays, play images, and I've got stuff on there, but they're just totally not. It's like refusing to. Let's see what happens if I go to simulator mode. Not any different. It's pretty much the same mess. Huh. Huh. My game card prefab renders as different sizes depending on where it is displayed. It is pretty small in the available plays list and medium and in the playbook. Large display will be used when zooming in. Currently, only one of those is being, one of those has been implemented as the available plays list, which currently which displays each game card prefab smaller than its layout. And shrunken down to the small size text, which is set to auto size, is huge and completely off the card. Now the image fits in with, wait a minute, I noticed that my image is fitting in the card, but it's way big. Let's see here. Let's go try something. Let's see if I can fix any of this. Look at that. What the heck is going on? Why is my image gigantic like that? Why is my image gigantic? It's not like that in the prefab view. Ah. What is going on here? What? So it is just getting totally mangled in play mode. Why? But you go back to this mode And it goes, hey, guess what? We'll look fine. All right. Why? Wait. What happened? That is not what it looked like 2 seconds ago when I did this. When I started the simulator. I didn't even add anything new. What just happened? Arg, I don't know what to do. Why is that doing that? I just fixed all this. I don't even think that's the right proportions. Let's just see what happens if I do this. I'm just going to change one thing. Just what happens if I just change the one piece. Doesn't do anything. Wait, did it do anything? Nope. Okay, image is still stretched all the way to the bottom. If we go to game view. So now that one looks kind of okay, except the image is all wacky. Probably because the image is just squished, right? What is this button that says new text? What is that? Oh, that's my card name. I don't even know how to fix any of this, because when I fix it, it just totally mangles itself again. None of this is what I did. I just fixed all this stuff. I had it all laid out correctly. And now it's everywhere. It's all screwed up. It's like it reset itself. I think there's something going on with the back. I think the back end code is mangling my code. It's my code. Is my code doing something that is altering the setting I make in the editor? If I start the app after setting the game card prefab up exactly how I want it, it is mangled and displayed in the playbook. And when I stop the run mode, it is once again mangled in the prefab setup. That's what doesn't make any sense to me. It's like I'm going through all this hassle of trying to get everything working, but when I return to the prefab, it's all totally screwed up again. And I don't want to keep setting it if I'm doing something that's just destroying it. And even if I go to the game mode, see, this one's there, but it's like it's completely not what I wrote, and that doesn't work right. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I think that's my problem. I think my game card is trying to build itself and it's totally wrecking everything I'm doing. So, yeah, I'm going to take out all this configuration crap from the game card. All right, so we got to go look at text auto size game card script. Sure, the card title settings are not overridden unless explicitly required. All right, let's go to card title dot. All right, so we're going to get rid of, I'm getting rid of all, I'm just taking it out. I don't care. I want to see what my thing looks like without the crap that it's putting in there. We're not going to take out, these are just offsets, vectors, rect transform. All this stuff is just screwing me up. I don't want, it shouldn't be mangling my stuff. And if it's distorted because of something I do, that's fine. At least I can know what I'm working with. But I think I have conflictory code behind the scenes here. So set active. I don't care about set active, but any kind of setting texture played image for game card. Pretty sure this isn't like, wait, anchor. Yeah, this is just normal card stuff. It's not even related to the object. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of that. What else do we have? Nothing there. Okay, so status overlay, status group, font size. Let's get rid of all this crap too. I don't want any of this. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be small enough. I don't know how it's going to work. Let's I'm going to leave auto size on there and see if that does anything. Which means I'm going to, do I want to dump this or just comment it out? Debug.log temp disable font adjustment. Standard font size adjustment. Actually, that's probably not supposed to be that. Probably should put that in a quote. And we'll just comment that block out. We'll do the same thing up here. Comment this block out. Thing is, it just like, it just completely mangles everything. All right, so respect the prefab's layout settings. What is this? Fixed child elements. What? No, getting rid of all that. What else we got? Only adjust layout if necessary. Yeah, this whole... This is totally bogus. Alright, so we can get the whole thing out of there. I'll do what he did because it totally simplifies it. Kills it. Alright, set compact size, set standard size. Set minimum font size. I'm not even going to change it. Actually, this kind of works, but I'm probably not going to set a minimum. Because if it gets that small, it's not readable anyway. If you set it to a minimum and the cards are too small, it's going to screw up the text anyway. It's going to look like crap. So yeah, I mean, there's no point in setting a minimum. I'll comment it out. I can always adjust it if for some reason there's something I don't like about it, but maybe in a big form I want it to be 20 or 30. I mean, 18 may not be enough if it's a big card. All right. So yeah, my game card was totally screwed up. It was totally mangling everything. Hopefully there's nothing else going to try to mangle my screen. Let's go to the playbook service. Okay, I don't see anything there trying to mangle it. Let's go to my... What else? Did I have another one? There's this, but this doesn't do anything either. Button outline. Okay, so I guess that's it. All right, let's save all that nonsense. Hopefully, we're not going to get mangled again. I gotta go set it all back. Let's just see what happens when let's just leave this alone. We'll fix the image because that's the only one that's kind of wonky. And we'll what the heck, am I grabbing the image again? Arr. All right, first things first. We already have that auto. All right, let's just see what happens when I run this. I'm not going to do anything else. Let's just fix one thing. Just an image and text. I know I have other text back there. It's probably getting buried or the lens on top or something. But it's okay. These I should be able to see what they're doing. See, I still see decent amount of mangolination. Still looks the same. And I don't know what's really, it's just weird because I don't understand what's going on with the, like, it's like, where's my image now? Image was there a second ago. All I did was, I didn't do anything really. I mean, I just, but note how this image is off the screen. Text box is totally wrong. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do to, fixing this in runtime is really not an option. And then if I switch back, does it do something again? It's like, I feel like it just keeps changing what I'm doing. So I make changes and then I swap it. Now my text is all the way up here. See, it's like doing stuff. It's like offsetting. Something is changing my text. Let's go back to my code here. When it lays out something. So when I, let's go to the game card. Wait, am I looking? No, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Jeez. Play name, formation text, type text. Set basic text information. Text, play name. Formation, play type. I don't even have formation text. What is that? Why don't I even... I don't have formation text. Play type ID? I don't even have that on here either. But again, that's not... None of this stuff is... doing anything codular. Card image. So is it doing something with card? I mean, obviously it's doing something with card image. Not null, not empty. Use the injected service, not the static instance. Okay, so we're getting the service, getting it. If texture, card image texture, game object, set active, card image object, log warning. Else, card image set active, update visual state is in playbook. Update visual state based on playbook status. And that just says set active and the canvas group, make card appear faded. Oh, that's if it's selected. Set active and set compact size. So I don't know what is attached, what is going on with it mangling my stuff. Be right back. Now, of course, the other option is to go the other way. Stop trying to set it up in the UI, and like set it up in the UI, take those values and force them into the code from the do it codularly. But that means every value or everything I stick in there has to get a setting, and I think it's just. See, this is just changing card title. I mean, there is something else changing my rect trans. Let's just see if there's anything. Rect transform. I just want to see how many places this appears. Probably in a lot of places. Rect transform. How many does it say? 48 times it shows up. Examples and scripts. Don't need any of those ones. So that reduces it quite a bit. Playbook manager.cs. Set appropriate properties based on the containers. Keep the card size consistent with grid cell size. Well, that's... Yeah, but that shouldn't be changing anything significant. And this is only get component, and then we just set it. Then we have the actual playbook. Get component. Keep the card consistent with grid cell size. I guess vectors if we get bigger or smaller than that. Huh. I don't know, man. I'm frustrated. I don't know how to change my settings because it keeps getting mangled. Nothing I do seems to stick. Oh, my text is just get screwed up. Even though I fix this over and over and over and over again, it just keeps getting destroyed. And I don't know why it's doing that. I don't even know. I can't even fix one thing in it. It's kind of funny. This is distorting that, which is interesting. It's kind of funny how you can change the simulator. And, oh, so is that how that happens? Oh, interesting. So, if you're in the scene, by having that in here, it distorts this. Interesting. Huh. Weird. Still doesn't explain why my text box is getting all whack. I assume it's the same if I swap it. It's in game mode. It's probably going to do the same thing here. So that just swaps the type of problem it is. Now I go back here and it's the same thing. I shrink it. Well, this one won't because the dimensions of the simulator don't change. But it still screws up the box. I don't know why. Because the simulator doesn't change dimensions. It stays exactly the same because you're working in a phone, and the phone doesn't change its dimensions. Not like like say a PC app could do. But I'm not sure how to fix this because every attempt I've made to make this appear correct has fallen flat. It's simply, I mean, like just trying to get this image to show up correctly. So if I go 0, 0, 0, then I set this to negative 65. Oh, nope. Guess we go down. 65. Not enough. Okay, so that's 100. But nothing I do is actually forcing this. That's the problem, is nothing I do is allowing this to stay where it is. It gets mangled every time without fail. But even if I drop this down here and bring this back up here and resize this down to here. So it's like just doing this, it just doesn't work. And I'm not, and stretch doesn't do anything. I kind of thought it would stay within its range, but you know, like if I go to the simulator here, so simulator here won't change anything. So if I wanted to change, let's see, let's put this back on the right thing. But yeah, it's just looking totally mangled. And then I go to my scene. Go away, reload. Nothing. That's simulator mode. Let's go to game mode. Go away, reload. Nothing. And it's like, we have my scene. And it changes shapes or sizes, which of course is not ideal. But, and look, my image is all wonky again. Oh, it's a single line now. And that gets flipped upside down. Oh, Unity. What are you trying to do to me? Oh, Unity, oh, Unity. What is it thou wants to do to me? Drive me crazy is what I see. 'Cause everything you do perplexes me. It's like nothing, look at that, didn't even change. It's like I adjust the image. It's like it's like whatever I'm doing to the layout has no effect. Nothing I'm doing is changing these views. It just displays what it wants to display. That is. That is what's throwing me completely off. There is no form of... What's interesting too is this is an identical mess. It's like it doesn't look any different. And which tells me there is a consistency in its destructive capacity. And you can see that this is not what I had set. If I change this over to game, go to scene, that's closer to what I had set, but it's like nothing I do in the prefab matters. It's like it just totally looks, it does what it wants. It's just like it mangles the prefab. What is this? I don't even think I'm using that. I don't want that. That's not doing anything. Huh. Yeah, it looks exactly the same amount of crap. And I just don't know why. I don't know what that is. What does that say? Read, write, blah, 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 22, quick, empty, but, oh, that must be the title somehow. The title's getting screwed by way of being squished to a vertical state. It's like being super long and super... I do not know what is going on, man. What are you doing? What is this one doing? I'm gonna try something. Very simple, very nothing seen, but I don't know what to expect here. So we're gonna go back to my I don't even know why that gets flipped around. How do I end up in a 2D state? I don't know. Yeah, it loads up perfectly. What is going on? Why is this one functional? All I did was not put a background on it. Let's stop this. And this time, let's go add a background. We're just going to go add my background to my, is it materials? Nope. Textures. Yep. We're just going to take my background and we're going to drop it right. Nope, wrong. Nope, nope. Got to go to the right thing. Gosh darn it. Prefab. Then we can go to textures. Put this right there. And let's run it. Okay, so we have kind of a background. It's all I did so far. I've done nothing but add that thing to it. And I'm just trying to see at what point everything breaks, because all I did was add some text boxes. But something about this prefab versus that one. I wonder if it's this canvas group thing, because I didn't actually set the canvas group. What is this canvas group? Because I don't have that set on my, when I had the other one on here. See if I go to my prefabs again. So here I have that, and I have two things. Oh no, they're both set the same. Blocks raycast. Is that? Zero, zero. Okay, let's try matching some stuff here. We're gonna go 0, 5, 0, 5 all the way down. 0.5. And what does this guy say? Same. Just trying to get an exact match of settings here. And I'm even going to turn, this has blocks raycasts. I don't know what that is, but let's do that. Blocks raycast, because this is the one that's broken. And this is the one I want. All right, so the only difference is now 125, 150, center middle. Center middle, okay. 125, tab 150. Okay, oops. And that's 0, 0. So everything else is 0, 0. 0, tab 0, tab 0. Okay. Now we're going to go File, Save Project. Then we're going to try to just put that in. See if any of what I just did made any difference at all. So we're going to go over here to the unit filter panel. We're going to put this guy back in the game card position. Oops, nope, that's not going to work because I did it during the play mode. Because nothing gets saved when you do that. Oh, it does if it's down here, I guess. But this will not. I have to go to the unit filter panel and I have to change this back to that. Okay, try that again. Save project. Okay, here we go again. Now, that said, when I go in here, this one looks like it's supposed to look. I mean, it's crap, doesn't have anything, but I haven't really done anything with it. This one did look like it was supposed to look, but now it's all busted up, so I have to fix it. But at least this one looks all mangled there too. Oh, that's not even the one that's loaded. Never mind. Has all the same settings. So if I go back here, what does my first thing look like? 125, 150. That's basically this is 125, 150. It's all the same. So the only thing left, let's go fix the card image and the card text to match. All right, so if I go to card image, we got 0 center top 45, 125, 90. Center top negative 45, 125, 90. And for whatever reason, we are zoomed into the stratosphere. And let's go ahead and switch this one. 125, 150. 125, 90. 0.5115. 0.5115. All right, so we're going to actually go ahead and let this should be, if this shouldn't have any real effect. All I did is change the size. I'm not changing the dimensions, the stretch positions, nothing. All right, let's see here. File, save. And then we're going to go over to this one. We're going to go to card name. negative 45, 125, 60. 45, 125, 60. Zero, negative 45, 125, 60. Except I probably am using totally wrong. That's center middle. Oops. Card name. Center middle. Okay. Card name. Center middle. 0, negative 45, 125, 60. Now, it's not really what I want, but that said, we will put this on, it's already on auto size, so we're going to shrink you to that, and then we're going to drag you all the way up here. Now, I would imagine if this is actually doing anything, and I don't see any reason why it wouldn't, why didn't that, the font is supposed to auto size. Oh, look at that, dropped to 0. Dropped to 6.75. That's really small. But we're gonna leave it because I want to see what it does. It's all right. I'm okay with super small. It's a super small. It's not like you're supposed to really be reading them there. If you want to read them, you can drag them over or click on it because that's going to be the option to be able to see it closely. Okay, that's all I'm doing. I'm not changing anything else. Let's go see what this does. I matched everything that the game card that works does with stuff here except for the text, which is all new. But all the stuff that isn't new, I've made exactly the same as they are in the other screens. So I should be able to see something. There we go. Look at that. It's actually working. So something about that raycast or whatever thing that was the same. Suddenly I have things kind of sort of in a way working, which is exactly what I want. So now you can see there's a little bit of a buffer with my image because my image loaded up, but it's not filling up the space that I gave it, probably because it's more of a square. But, and my text is still a little wonky, huh? It's like landing right in the middle of the screen. It's not supposed to be there either. Let's go see what the game mode looks like, if it's any different. No, it's pretty much the same. But we are closer. Text and image are closer. I'm thinking either there's a proportionality issue, which going to take some play. But I think, because you can see this did not stay in place. So I wonder if I said stretch. That's weird. Okay, so we're going to go here, and we're also going to say stretch. I don't know if that makes any difference, but we're going to try. Just to see if we get any slightly different effect from doing a stretch. It's actually high enough. Text didn't get, oh, you know what? I wonder if my text looks way bigger. But it did stretch it out. It did put a better fit, except for the text is way big still. I'm going to fix these bottom ones. I think we're getting closer though. My images look like they're supposed to look. I am actually thinking of cutting off some extra space on my images though. So like getting rid of that back line. Only problem is if I have a punt or a kick, this is supposed to be 15 yards back and that's where they would be. So cutting them off might be a problem. But I probably don't need this extra row on top for sure. But I need my text to be smaller. Can it be smaller? Do I have? I'm not using a minimum text right now, I don't think. Which is interesting. What about, I don't think I have wrap on though on my text. Let's go to, stop this. Go back to the scene. Go to my card name. Text wrap. No wrap. Overflow. Huh. Well, I have it to shrink. I don't have a 0. I don't know, maybe 6.75 is as small as it gets. And once it gets down that small, it might not I'll actually allow it. I may have to put something like an ellipsis or increase the space for it or some other way to make that look right. Huh. No, that actually shrank. Shrank small. Still not where it's supposed to be though. It's still way lower than it's supposed to be. But it's readable. And that's only if I zoom though. But I mean, obviously at normal size, fit to screen or whatever. I mean, that is quite a bit different from the size of my my phone. I'm looking at my phone right here. And yeah, this is, my phone would take up about a third of this. It's a big phone, but it ain't that big. But it does allow, it does look more like I expected it to. The question is, so the problem was definitely having to do something with that prefab settings. Now we need to get my other text into the screen, which would be great. I'm still a little concerned because obviously if I put stuff in there and I shrink it down and it doesn't actually fit, I don't know what it's going to do, because you can see that it's moving stuff up here still slightly. If I go to my scene, that's not supposed to be moving. It's stretch, but it is definitely not proportionally staying. I wonder if I attach this to the top. Just kind of like not have padding. By not having padding on one side or the other, it means it can stay against the top. Because once you get small enough, that padding becomes huge, right? Because you're getting like 2 pixels or whatever it is padding. And that is a problem. Let's see if taking away that padding does anything. I don't know if those are pixels or what the heck those are. I don't even, just the fact that it's padding, it's some sort of a setting that, yeah, it didn't really do anything. I mean, we're still slightly below the spot I put it in. Huh. So even with that. Well, I'm gonna have to deal with it. I think that's gonna have to be about as small as I can get it, and apparently I can't get it this close to the top when it's little. What does that mean in terms of long-term functionality? I don't know, but can't. What if I align to the top? Like this, go back. There. Let's hit save. File. There's a lot of niddly piddly crap. Is that the technical term is niddly piddly in Unity? Where you just it's like fiddly. It's like when you play a board game and it's got all these little things you have to do in it, and sometimes you're like, okay, it's just getting a little monotonous, moving this and that and this and setting this and setting them up, especially when it's like a setup or a teardown. You're like, oh god, all this stuff. That looks different. That looks like it's pretty close to the top. What did I do again? What did I just do that made that work? Oh, I aligned it to the top. That actually did something. Okay. Huh. Okay. Well, that actually did something. Now the question is, you can see that I got limited amounts of text. Text space. It's funny. I wish my font would stay the same size though for all of them. If I know how small it's going to be, I don't like that sometimes it's giant and sometimes it's tiny. Tiny's long, I know. Full S3 dump is short compared to all these other ones. And all these four have different font sizes. They're all different in font size. This is the biggest, smallest. I have no idea which one's which, but they're all tiny. And really, if you shrink this down, none of them are readable, right? I mean, let's see. Let's see if I pull this out. I can tell you for sure. And then go like this, and then we'll set fit to screen. And then my phone has this on it. This is actually what it looks like on my phone, and I'll show you what it looks like on my phone. And first of all, let's make sure I'm on the right Wi-Fi here, because we all know. Nope, it's the right one. What do you know? Okay. Let's turn. How do I turn the? Why is there chat showing here? Stop it. Well, I'm just trying to get this to show up as. How do I turn off my chat? Why is my chat on there? Oh, there it goes. Okay. All right, so that's pretty close to what it looks like on my phone. And let's load this up. So there you go. That's what it looks like on my phone. Why am I... Oh, if my phone is in my phone is in my phone. How do I stop that? And it keeps doing it. It's infinitely trying to build. Let's see if maybe if I take this off the screen. Because I got my screen showing my screen showing my screen, and that's the problem. Well, I tried to show you my screen, but apparently I can't. Apparently I can't drag my screen for more than 1/4 of an inch. But that is essentially what you're seeing there. I was kind of showing you what my phone is, but you can't... Even so, if I magnify it on the screen, it's kind of a mislead anyway. But yeah, it looks pretty much like that on my phone. It's just that I can't zoom in because I'm looking at it. I'm basically looking at YouTube like you are, so you could zoom. But on my phone, on this little device, it looks pretty much like you see there, almost unreadable. And which shouldn't matter that much because you're not going to be able to read them anyway. You're going to have to click on it. Because I don't know the best way to show plays that have, you know, a fair amount of information on them. But is there a better way? Probably. There's probably a better way. I don't know what it is, but there is most likely a way to do that. I've seen a couple of people do plays. They have green and they just do all white lines, but that doesn't really show much. I guess it does make sure that your plays are all visible, or your lines are all visible, even at short distances. Like this, like your green one. The green lines you can't even see. They can kind of... Is that a green one or a red one? I can't tell. It's really tiny right there. But still, they're pretty hard to see at any rate. So the idea is that I'm going to have some kind of a zoom. Now the question is, can I get more text on there? My cards need to have additional text. So I got all my plays, including my new one that I created yesterday. It's right here. But I also don't see... Where's my unit filter buttons? They seem to have vanished. Are they visible at any point? Let's go check out my... see what this looks like in the phone mode. So this is what this would look like in phone mode. You would have a scroll right here. See, you can slide it up. Pick your new place. Cool. Skinny phone mode. That's what my device is. It's not a lot better in the in the app mode or game mode or whatever they call it. I don't know what game mode is versus simulator mode. I mean, there's slight differences. All right, so we kind of sort of have it kind of working. So let's fix the, let's see if I can get the text on there. And hopefully we'll at least have more information on if it's going to work. Because like I said, these are pretty tiny. And for some reason, my my filters are not showing up. So we'll go back here. I think it's just maybe turned off. Something's turning my unit filter panel off. Because by default, as you can see, it's active. So something is turning the unit filter panel off. Which, interestingly enough, is, what is it called on the... This is where you attach the card. Offense buttons, spec teams button. Has all the buttons. Playbook UI manager. So why is it going off? Why is it going off? All right, well, first let's go back over to this and go to scene mode. And try once again. Now that I think I have things kind of fixed. Sheesh. I'm gonna get all these guys fixed again, and I'm just trying to figure out the fastest way to do this. I want auto shrink, but I also want them all to look the same. It's like I need to go. I don't need it. I don't know. Maybe I just set them all to the minimum size. It's not 0, but whatever the size is necessary to make them all fit, and then because if I make it too small, the font size won't grow. I guess I could try to make it look the same for all small, and then like it was doing, set a font where the minimum, where we shrink it to, or we set it to the small, whatever that is, and then actually use different sizes. We'll have it like be, if it's this size, then we do this. If it's that size, then do that. So at least everything stays the same. That might be the better way to go. So for availability purposes, we have the font becomes uber tiny. I don't know what the right size would be, but something small. And I'm actually going to push this up a little higher. Yeah. Oops. That's probably a bit much. Oops, going the wrong way. 45. Nope. So 10 is, oh, this is really confusing how to do this sometimes. Are they not set the same? Why is that one stretch, stretch, this one stretch, stretch? And I'm going 10, 0, 10, and I can't do 0, 10 here. It won't let me. Oh, there it goes. 10, 0. Man, this is like, all this I'm doing, this is like the 5th time I've done this. Trying to get everything to line up the way it's supposed to. And stretch is the only way to do this, because it needs to resize. I don't know why I can't do bottom 0. I set this to 0. I say right 50. I go. See, then I can't change. Can't set them all to the same. For whatever reason, some of these just won't, like that one. It won't let me change the left to 0. Oh, these guys can be 0. And I don't know how to space these in this setup either. Except to just, I don't know, set this to 15. Oh, let's see, all that does is change the size. Oh, it's such an annoying thing. They're not consistent. They're all from the top. So the top is something and the bottom is something. So it's like, if this is 0 and 45, I don't know, what does 10 represent? 0 is the top. Bottom is something. Oh, it's 45 from the bottom. So if this is 10 from the top, 35 from the bottom would be close, but that depends on my gap. So I can go 30, and then I also have to set this to 15 to move it down. Holy cow, this is a pain. And that would mean, so if I want this to go down 15 also, that'd be 30. And then this guy, if I want him to go the same height, would be 35 plus 15 or 50. No, not 50, subtracting. 35 minus 15, 20. Nope. See? $15 from the top, 30 from the bottom. Leaves a 15 gap in the middle. So it's 45. So 15 is 30. Oh, it's supposed to be 15. Jeez, this is so confusing. This is basically 0. 0 from the bottom, but you can't go 0 from the bottom because it won't let you. Wants to put in something else for whatever reason. Go 9. Let's see if I can change this to 0 now. Nope. Why has it got to be negative? Why can't it just be like 1? I can't do 0, so let's go 1. We'll just do that. Which would mean if I want this to be 0 and 45, so 45 from the top, 1 and 45, we can go 46 to get a similar fill. Oh, not 46, 44. Save project. And then, all right. And thing is, you're not setting you're no longer, when you do stretch, you're no longer setting, you're setting the bottom from the bottom and the top from the top is basically what you're doing, which makes it very hard to set. Okay, so like this one would be 0.45 also. 0. Well, I have to set this to stretch. 0.45. And right will be 0 as well. And left is most certainly not going to be 70. Say 20. Nope. 50. Closer. 60. 55. All right, so we got 55, 0.45, but this one's going to be 55, 15, 0, 50. 55, 15, 50. Oh, 0. Nope. That's got to be 0. Bottom's still 30, though. Probably help if I put the right values in there. 55, 15, 0, right, 0, and 50. No? Gosh dang it. Zero, 30, 15. 0, 30, 15, 30? Zero, 30, 50. Okay, I'm not getting this right. 15, 30. 15, 30. Okay, so now we're almost online. And the left should be 50 to bring it back to almost the same as that side. What did I set this left to? 55. Then we're going to take this one and this one. We're going to set them to stretch. It's going to be 55. Right, 0. And I'm going to bring you up to there just to get me in the right place. So it's going to be the opposite of this, 55 left. So we got that. So it's 0.45 from the bottom, but it's going to be 144 on this thing. 144. 144. Okay. And then this one will be 3015. There. File. Save project. If I had hair, I'd be pulling it all out right now. It's like, yeah! Okay, let's see where we're at. Hopefully we get something. At the very least, I hope it contains in the square. I don't want it to be popping out of my boxes. Okay, it's there. We do have obviously some issues with the fonts changing size, but they are squished in there thoroughly. They are now all part of the box. It's kind of funny, you zoom in here. You can't actually zoom in on a spot though. That's what's annoying. I can't like drag and look at other places. So if I want to do that, I have to look at simulator mode. Which simulator mode actually gives you a scroll bar. I don't know why. Okay, so yeah, we got totally wonked out wonkiness here. It did not shrink enough. It doesn't even look. It looks like we're still hitting a minimum. We're still getting a minimum text because that 100% is gigantic. So is that one. So we're close, but not quite. Whatever the reasoning for that is, I don't know. So let's go here. Let's see here. If I go shift here, should have 0 on all of these. And we should have auto size on all of these. Yeah, those all can be different. Okay. So all I could think of, well, the thing is that other stuff is all new. So a lot of these text boxes don't have anything to do in the game card, but the game card is still setting some kind of a font setting. And I'm not sure why, but my I still have my filter not showing up. I got to fix that, but and I can see it because when I run it, it actually vanishes from here. So something is turning off my my filter, my unit filter. Unit filter is somewhere. Available plays. Playbook. Playbook plays. Camera. Scene loading. Current unit filter. Set up unit filter buttons. Set unit filter. At which point something playbook manager. Always start disabled. Panel should never be visible at startup. Yeah, but it's the, what is the panel? What is the game object it's turning off? That's the question. And why would it be visible at startup? The panel is not showing. I don't think I need this. I don't think that's it. Because the panel's not going to show. It's on another thing. Why would that ever be a thing? I have a feeling that's the problem. Let's go see what happens when I run this. I don't think my I don't know what that's trying to tell, because I have things that manage my screens, so I shouldn't ever have that there. But then when I'm on panel, there they are. Filter buttons aren't working right now. I mean, do I not have anything? It's possible I don't have anything. But I got some seriously distraught text. And it could simply be, even though I don't have a minimum. Let's go see if there's anything else setting font. I thought I turned off all the font stuff, but there could be something else. Font size. Those ones are not on. Animation debugger. I don't know what that one is. That's for my animate. And why do I have font size again on here? Setup style for messages. I don't think that's going to be my thing. Benchmark? Commented. Text Mesh Pro examples. README editor. The only thing I have is this animation troubleshooter, and those things I don't believe have any effect on what I'm doing. In fact, I probably don't even need those things anymore. Though I may at some point in the future. So why? So if the card name oh, so what is different here? Because these guys aren't shrinking in the same way. No wrap. Oh, wrap. Let's turn that wrap off. No wrap. There we go. Let's try that. Alrighty, let's run this puppy. Are we getting closer to getting this at least, even if it just looks unreadable but small and neat, that's okay. Because I'm gonna have a zoom or a click, and you can kind of see closer. Mostly, but there's still things that are not. There's still things getting massive sized. I think the problem is, see how those guys are big? It's because it thinks it has room for those guys to be big. Because it's like, oh yeah, I can put that in, but see, they kind of overlap in the middle, and it's allowing the overlap. I don't know why it's allowing the overlap. I think it's because when it shrinks, it's shrinking at its, you know, it's distortingly shrinking. So that's kind of, yeah, I see the problem, because it thinks it has room for those because the box allows them to be that size. The box isn't shrinking. It's the box does shrink, but it's not shrinking at the rate it needs to make those stay the same. So what I think I need to do is define my font sizes. And I have no idea what the font size is of some of these, but I'm guessing it's pretty dang tiny. So what I'm gonna do is go try that. So now that I kind of see what's happening and where, now I've got it all kind of lined up, I think I'm going to set some default font sizes, and they'll just be what they are. So we're going to go to FPFM here, and then I have font size in my, not you, not you. Here we go. Is that the one? No, game card. Okay, so I don't know what the size delta is, or what is size delta? Method on get component. And I think what I'm going to do is actually force the font at the smaller sizes. Size delta property is part of the rect transform class in Unity. It's not a method, but a property that defines the size of rect transform relative to its anchors. Type size vector 2. Purpose. It specifies the width and height of a rect transform relative to its anchors. Usage. It's commonly used to adjust the size of UI elements in Unity canvas system. Property works in conjunction with the anchor minimum and anchor max properties of a rect transform. Here's how it behaves. Anchors set to stretch. If the anchors are set to stretch, anchor min 0, 0 and anchor max 1, 1, the size delta acts as a margin or padding. A positive size delta increases the size of the element while a negative value decreases it. Set the size of the UI element to 200, 100. So am I actually defining them at that size? Practical use. Resizing UI elements. Common misunderstanding. Size delta versus rect.size. Size delta is relative to the anchors, while rect.size is the actual size of rect transform in world space. If the anchors are not fixed, rect size will include the influence of the anchors, but size delta will not. Are we setting it at that? Is there like other places where I'm setting it to a to that size, or how do I know? Yeah, that's fine. Only adjust layout if necessary. Get component rect transform. But this is like get component. Is that the size it's going in at? I mean, I guess it could be, but all right, so we're gonna get rid of auto sizing. We're just gonna force fit my font. Oh, that's card title. Oh, no wonder I don't have it anywhere else. Is there a way to set the font size for all text elements in a prefab at once? Or do I have to set it for each element manually or individually? I mean, there's only 9, but I could see having quite a bit more than that. You can write a script to iterate through all child objects of the prefab and set the font size for each text element. Here's an example. How to use. Save this script in the editor folder in your project. Assets, editor, font size editor. Select the prefab in the project window. Go to the Unity menu bar and click Tools, Set Font Size for Prefab. This script will update the font size for all TextMesh Pro UGUI. Use a global style with TextMesh Pro. If you want font sizes globally, you use TextMesh Pro styles or shared font assets. Well, I need to do it dynamically, as the game card prefab will load at different sizes depending on usage in game. God, don't know how to spell. Blah. Sometimes you just gotta let AI learn how to. You know, it's funny. AI is actually better at understanding your misspelling or glossing over it than people are. Sometimes you misspell something, they're like, what? 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 I don't. What did you say? AI will just go, okay, I understand what you said. I get the gist of what you were trying to mimic. Sometimes, other times it's like, why are you babbling AI? And you're like, oh, it's because I gave him babble. Just the font size of all text elements in Game Card Prefab. Based on its size usage, you can write a method that iterates through all the Text Mesh Pro GUI and adjust the font size accordingly. Because I want to add others, and I don't want to have to keep messing. So, other existing code, adjust font sizes, calculate a font size based on the card size. Really? I don't know if I want to do that. Base font size. There is they're doing a calculator theory. That's interesting thought. But would it... So they're using auto sizing, but adjusting the minimum. Dynamically set the font size. Yeah, but see, the problem with auto sizing is you get some fields that get giant text and other fields. I like auto sizing. But the problem is that the text no longer is consistent. There's some cards would have giant text for small amounts, and others would have tiny text. I want my font size to be consistent based on card size. I am thinking I'm going to go with this. Add a method to calculate and set the font size based on card size. The font size is calculated as a percentage of the card's highest. You can adjust the multiplier to control the font size relative to the card size. It's disabled to ensure consistent size across all cards. Iterate through all text elements. I think for this, sometimes, man, I think you start getting tired and your brain starts going nuts and your tongue starts stutter, starts to lose It's cohesiveness. Okay. When to call, adjust font size based on card size. After instantiating the card. In your Playbook UI Manager or whenever the card is created, call the method after setting up the card. When the card is resized. How often am I going to card is resized? I don't know if I'm ever going to resize the card. I think I'm only going to have sizes that I show, but I'm thinking like, what happens when I want to zoom? Like tap zoom, tap, that kind of thing, where it pops into another screen, but I want it to look like it's coming bigger, but you might not be able to read it at that point. It's going to be fast. It's just, so game card. Is there a create card in here? Configure. Okay, what did it say? In Playbook UI Manager. Start, step, void, load, refresh, load play data, create game card. Game card prefab, blah, 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 game object, object, container, game card, call null, configure the card. Adjust the font size based on card size. Oh wait, we're down here. Card.configure. Set the size based on whether it's in the compact container. Oh. Why not just do it in the set compact size? Set the size based on whether it's in the compact container. How do you know if it's in the compact container? All right, let's try this. Configure the card. We're going to go. It's going to take some fiddling around when the card is resized. I don't think I'm going to have any resizing going on, so I'm not going to worry about that. I mean, I will have different sizes that show up at different times, but I'm not going to have like zooming or anything like that, which could be interesting. But I'm not doing it. I mean, I could. Nah, not going to worry. Maybe later. That'll be an add-in. It's not that big of a deal. I have the option, right? I have the resizing tool. Adjust font size based on card size. And update the game card class with consistent font sizing. So we're going to go and take this. You can adjust the multiplier, enable auto sizing, disable to ensure consistent size across all cards. Okay, so we're gonna go here, and we're gonna. I guess I'll put this in the game card. Optionally set alignment or other properties for consistency. Text alignment options. No, we don't need any of that. I already have all that other stuff I want. Adjust the multiplier as needed. Okay, so we're going to have to tweak this a couple of times. It might be good to make this an external value so I can play with it in live state, but for now, we will just try to run this and see what it does. I tell you, a lot of the stuff that you're kind of messing with is just looks. Okay, that didn't do anything. That didn't change squat. It looks exactly the same. Did I not call it? I thought I called it. Let's go back to Playbook Manager. Am I not calling this? Let's attach this. All right, come on. Are we attached now? Nope, we're still thinking about it. I am planning or hoping to start working on the actual simulations over the next few weeks. I'm just trying to get some of the basic stuff kind of looking kind of good. And then I want to start doing a dummy mock-up of my simulator. I also came up with the, and I took a bunch of notes and plot the plan and how I'm going to enable it for experience gain of players. I've come up with the solution. How they're going to gain their experience, how they're going to perform during play, and how, what's going to affect their triggers on success. It's a whole mechanism I devised, and I'm liking it. I'm liking the way it's conceptually going to work. Until you start, when you're talking about numbers and math and trying to make things, perform in a certain way, it's always theoretical until you implement, right? Until you actually go through and you put the math in place and you're like, that's it. That is the answer, right? So you got to come up. It'd be kind of cool if I might even have to come up with some kind of a testing engine, a way to adjust my numbers and tweaks and settings just on the fly, so I can go, okay, let's try this. Click. What does this do? Brr, what does this do? Brr, what does this do? Brr. And be able to run and kind of see things happen using a little testing harness. And what I'll probably do that is my unit testing, and then have certain expectations or thresholds that I want to have, and I'll put them in my test thing, and then have it run, 10 or 20 or 50 or 100 or 1,000 tests. It might take some time to run them all, but it'll alert me when there's a threshold break. Like, okay, wait a minute, we got this happening or that happening or whatever. And you put these little. And I may have to have like a set of tests that are like special, and I only run them, when I'm doing logic testing, so to speak. Not syntax checking or process checking, but like, how does this math work, kind of. Is it letting me do my thing now? Is it going to let me? Maybe I have to stop this now, because I don't think it worked. Let's go back out here and run it again, because I fully expect. I don't know what this is. Scene loader. All right. Just based on card. Okay, so I do get to this card size. Now, why is this loading? Playbook Manager. Here's a question. Why does Playbook Manager fire at startup? I think I might know. Let's. I might be able to stop this one from firing. Let's see. All right, so we're going to put this here. I'm going to stop this one more time, because got to go make sure that we don't have this visible. I think it's because that's loaded at start and it's not supposed to be. This one is supposed to be. Let's see if let's see if the playbook thing still fires. Hopefully it will not, now that I've disabled that. Because it shouldn't fire until we actually load. Okay, so yeah, we're good. So we're going to go here now. Now this should take me in here and adjust my font. And I am curious. Let's see what it comes up with for the font size. It's going to have to be after the card is loaded. You know, the problem with this theory is, no, it's based on card size though. Let's see what it comes up with. $18. Wow, that's not good. Why is that starting off so high? 18, that's going to be huge. No, it's got to be smaller than that. What's this? Why does it start at 18? Where's the definition? Get component in children, get component. Base, where's base font size? Oh, is that a rec transform? Adjust. Oh. So this is 18? 180. Huh. Oh, that's too much. that's too much. I don't even, man, that's okay, so my rec transform is 18. What if I divide it by 2? So what is 0.1 divided by 2? 0.05? .05 would be really small. Yeah, let's see how consistent. Let's see what that does. We'll do 0.05. So 0.05. Save. Let's see if this is actually taking place. So the next time we come in here, no, it's not working yet. Nope. All right, so we're gonna have to take this out. Let it run. So apparently it's going to ignore. At least with 18, it does look, it's more consistent. It's just stupid big. We're going to go for half that size. We're going to try for 9 and see what that does. All right, so we'll stop. Build. Uh-oh, error. Brr. Brr, what's the error? What did I do? Oh, too many periods. All right. It's done complaining. All right, so we'll go for 0.05, which should cut 18 down to 9, which should give me a much tinier look. And for the small cards, I want it to be pretty tiny, so I'm okay with that. Might even go down to 8 or 7 or 6. I don't want to because the math gets weird. I could divide it by 3 and get it down to 6 pretty easily. But what do we got here? That's actually kind of sort of doable. But you can see that my couple of things are going weird. This is... So dividing it by 2 is 9. What if I just set it to... Oh, I can't do 10. How would I do... How would I... You can't do fat... Well, you can do flat numbers, but then you lose them. Kind of looks like 9 or 10 could work, but... And I mentioned, interestingly enough too, it's not actually changing the title text. Title text is not getting adjusted. But first things first, we do have it looking a lot better. Still not great, but it's a lot better. And I am floating quite a bit on the top, and I'm still overlapping in the center. I don't know why. Let's go see what the game look is. I don't think it's going to matter. It's pretty much the same. Thing is, I can never zoom where I want to zoom. I want to zoom here, but it won't let me zoom here. I can't control. Where I zoom. I don't know why it doesn't let you have bars. Why can't I use bars? Give me some bars, man. Alright, fine. I can only zoom in the middle. It's really irritating because there's no bars to scroll on. Alright, well, this is the only one that lets you use scrolls. So we'll use it. I don't really care if they're readable. I mean, I don't want them overlapping and looking like if somebody were to zoom in like I did, I want them to be able to see what they see. I don't want it to look like it's gobbledygook in the middle. You know, gobbledygook. Gobbledygook? I don't think any of those are words, but you've heard of the word gobbledygook. Why is my my thing suddenly in 2D form? What happened here? Oh. Weird. Okay. Apparently clicking on that puts it in 2D form. I don't know why. It just does what it does, man. I tell you, Unity, I've just so many things that Unity does that I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I would like it a little bigger. And also, I don't know why. Is this like a different type of text? Something about that's slightly different from everything else. Something about that is just not kosher. It's supposed to be doing all the text in the prefab, but how come it's not doing card name? Oh, wait a minute. I do have, oh, you know what? I think I have this thing. Yeah, these got to go away. This is just enabling, all this does is set auto size. I'm taking this out. I bet you that's why that's not working. I don't know if those are doing anything. Are they setting it? It does. It says set the delta to. Huh. All right. But I think that's why those aren't setting. Okay, so that still doesn't explain the greater problem of why are my text boxes overlapping? So when the box shrinks, they overlap. I feel like they need to be anchored differently. But I don't know how to do that. Let's see. Okay. When my was a game card object shrinks, the text box labels on the right seem to shrink down and overlap the text box labels on the left, that they are aligned. Rather than staying against the right side of the card as they are supposed to. How do I adjust this in the editor so the right side boxes don't move to the left? And they also shrinking upward, which it feels like what's happening is my text box is actually shrinking. So like the box that's holding them, this panel, I feel like it's shrinking. And it's not staying anchored to the right and left. Because so like if it shrinks, it's pushing everything together. It's like if I go ahead and grab this box, and then say I want to do this and resize it. No, that doesn't, no, when it shrinks, oh, that makes the letters get smaller. Interesting. Huh. I'm going to turn off auto size on these guys too. I don't know what size this is expecting them to be, but I think for the purposes of here, that's 7.3. That's actually pretty tiny. That's smaller than they're actually showing up on the tiny cards that are on my screen. Oh. GPT, don't get fired again, man. Don't make me fire you again, GPT. I mean, I fire GPT every day. Every day I fire it. First of all, it's 4.0, but it's the one that keeps forcing me to use it in Visual Studio. I can switch over to 3.7 or even 4.1, but okay. Did it lose its memory? Let's go try Claude out. Time to swap over to Claude. GPT's looking kind of Dumbledore today. It's like it lost my question last time. It's like, what? Did you ask a question? in the game card prefab in isolation mode. I cannot open it in isolation mode. I have no idea how to do that. Double clicking on, well, I mean, I can open it as its own thing. Is that isolation mode? I guess. For each right-aligned text box, select the text component in the hierarchy in the inspector. Find the rect transform component. Yeah. Click on the anchor presets button. Looks like a square with arrows. Yeah. Hold Alt key while clicking on the rightmost anchor preset. This sets both anchor and pivot correctly for right alignment. Hold on, clicking on the right middle anchor preset. Alt key, huh? All right, let's see what that does. Control, whoops. Control, whoops. Control. And we go here. And then we go, did it say, wait, it didn't say a specific alt key, right? It didn't say like right alt key or some dumb thing like that. Hold alt key while clicking on the right middle. Oh, okay, right middle. I don't know why holding the alt key does anything, but shift, also set pivot, also set position. Right middle, okay. Oh, whoops. Can't do that. Let's try that again. I gotta do one at a time. Apparently, right middle. Oh, I see what that's doing. Interesting. It sets the position if I don't want it to set the position. I mean, I guess it's normal. It's kind of sort of in a way okay, but I don't want it to do that. Because it breaks my... Does it change my anchors? Set position. I don't necessarily seem... I don't need to set my positions. I think my positions are fine. Right middle. I mean, just stick with right middle, I guess. Let's see what this does. Now if they still squish, then the problem is that my other box is going wonky. The box that's containing them is squishing them together. And that's a different problem. Oh yeah, we're not overlapping anymore. So it ain't the box that's containing them. That actually did a good job. Got them nice in position. Now the problem is my image is staying anchored to the top, but it's kind of big. I kind of want my I mean, it looks pretty good. Why is it so high though? Let's go with something different on this guy. If I go here, what's he currently set at? Stretch. What if I just go like bottom? I'm afraid it's going to not stretch side to side though. What about bottom? Stretch. Let's try that. Trying to get it to anchor against one side. so it doesn't float. I wish you could adjust things like that. Oh, you know what? I did that. I think I did that in run mode. Yeah, I think that's... Oh no, it saved it. How did it save that? Oh, because I wasn't in the mode I thought I was. Yeah. Ooh, yeah, look at that. We're both in my square and we're down low. Sing low, sweet chariot, coming home to take me home, coming home to take me home, something like that. Very cool. Now, what do I need to fix? Honestly, I don't know if I need to fix anything. It all looks pretty good. I mean, it's not great. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's pretty dang close to the way I want it. Now, why does my SS32 not have an image? Because I don't have an image for it. And I couldn't, I was going to try to load it, but apparently it didn't want to load either. So, in my play editor, which is on my other, is on the React app. But I'll try to see if I can figure out why it won't load. But if it does, if I can get it to load, I'll have it regenerate. If not, I'll delete it and create a new one. Wow, you know what? I might, this might just cut it. I don't know why it's quite stretching off the screen though. I don't think my text is supposed to do that. Could be my text is too big still. I don't know. I don't know if the problem is text too small or too big or too big. So I've got everybody kind of being where they need to be. They're all under the title. The title's on the top. The only thing is, it's outside of my screen. And why? I think it might be that it's extending outside of the box. But the question becomes, what's making it do that? Is it the font size? Let's set this to 9 to get an idea of what things look like. Let's see if that makes a difference. If this will show me what a 9 looks like. Because right now I have my font set to 9 for the small screen. So if I were to go like this, change all these, get rid of that, set it to 9. Yeah, it does kind of stretch off the screen. So if I wanted to go with, what if I went with 6? 6 would be tiny, but it would all fit. About 7. 7 would be good too. What about 8? Oh, too big. That's going to cause me problems. So 7. 7 should fit. So what's a better way? 7, maybe I should just do a minimum of 7? No, because that's odd. That would be your auto sizing. But I could say 7 is a minimum. And then everything else grows from 7. So how would I do that? Let's go over here to my code. All right, so I have adjust font size based on card size. Now, if rect transform is whatever the card I put it at, we'll put, and they're making it whatever vector 100. Card height is 180. Let's just set the minimum to 7. You know what I didn't do? Let's go look at what this looks like if I go... Oh, we're not running. Let's go see if it makes any... Let's see if it changes at all when I go to like phone mode. Now my phone is a great test for both small device and big device because I'm laying out for 4, but if I actually change it to phone mode, so this is what it looks like in my big tablet mode, but if I click on this, it takes it to phone mode, and then I can see what it looks like on my phone. And my phone is about as skinny and cramped as a device will get. So theoretically, if I can make it look good in this or work in this and in my other, then I'll have a great solution. So this doesn't really change anything. So it's relative sizing. So it's, in other words, the size is still the 180, and this is tinier, but it's not changed. So I don't think I need to. Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and say it's a little bigger. Now, a lot of companies make their games work on the skinny phone, and then the big phone just kind of doesn't get to use its space. So like they'll design everything to fit in this skinny little area. So the cards basically look the same size no matter what, because they're going onto your skinny little phone, right? So if you go on a big phone, all you end up with is a bunch of dead space on the top and bottom. Instead of being able to see more cards, you see just nothing, dead space. I'm trying to design mine with vertical scrolling so that when things shrink, you just have stuff that scrolls more. You'll have more scrolling, but you'll have the same scene. And hopefully, if it's like the same length, you don't really get smaller, you just get less space. So things will scroll differently where possible. Like, for example, I want to have my football game running in the bottom half of the screen with other stuff on the top. And then I want to take what's on the top and put it on the left and run the football screen on the side. So either way, if you're on a small device, your football game is going to get smaller. I may have to give the option of turning off certain things, or maybe not show some things. Maybe like if my aspect ratio or my phone size or whatever doesn't do certain things, I may have to do like flashovers or extra or display things on top every now and then, just to kind of have a cool feel. I'd like to be able to do something even better, like add some of the cool features of a foldable phone, like be able to play it folded, where you get something on the top and something on the bottom. It's only available on the folded phone. So you get folded phone features. That's what folded phone can do. It can have stuff where you have an app that when you fold it, you get some stuff. You get some functionality on the bottom and some functionality on the top, like the visuals are like going on the top. So this way you can set it up and just kind of have your game going on one part, and then have the whatever else going on in the bottom part. Maybe your play selection or something like that. And then if you're playing on a non-foldable phone, you'd still have some of that stuff, but it might overlap or be on top of the screen instead of being on a separate screen. That kind of stuff. That's what I'm thinking. All right, so I think, yes, I'm going to go write my code here to allow for so 0.5 is going to grow really small. Adjust the multiplier, 0.1 as needed. 0.5. I could go 0.4. But again, as it grows, I don't know if that's proportional. So if I go 0.05 and then I go to 0.04, which I have no idea what that would be. Will 0.04 make it fit? Because 0.03 would almost be 6. All right, let's go 0.04. That's 40% of 18. 40% of 18 is, well, let's see, roughly 7-ish. So, yeah. Yeah, maybe. Let's see what this does. And then I have to go back here, and I know it ain't gonna work, so I have to hit stop. Let it reload. 0.4 is pretty small, and that means every time it grows, it's only gonna grow by 0.4, which might not be enough of a relational. I don't have a big enough card to actually see what that'll do at bigger card set. So I'll probably have to start fiddling with that at some point. It may not be a straight conversion where I can just do 0.4. I may have to do something like, because if it goes up to something big enough, would 0.4 of, I don't know, 200 be that big of a change? Because if 0.04 of 180 is, 7, what is the font size of 0.04 of 200? Alexa, what's 0.04 times 200?
0.04 times 200 is 8.
See, that only goes up to a font size of 8, which wouldn't be much of a change. And I don't know what the big card size is, to be honest. I don't know what that's going to be. I'll have to create cards. I have to get my playbook to load, which will be like the medium size, and then my zoom size. And I may have to have that adjust by more than that. Like if it's standard size, well, maybe that's not that much bigger. I mean, if it goes from this to that, maybe it goes from this to double the size, then double 180 is 360. 360 would essentially take it up to about a 14 point, which could be quite a bit bigger. So maybe we'll leave it at 0.04, see what happens. Did I not? I was waiting for it to compile. Oh, it's already 2:45. Can you believe it? How long have I been going? I haven't done a day break. I'm at 3 hours in. Maybe I should take a break and come back and do it again. All right, so what do I want to work on next? I really kind of want to see if I can start getting some kind of, as I clean up the cards, and they look a lot better now and look more like, I was tired of seeing the weird grayness, Yep, everything's on the board now. We're looking pretty sharp. I got my plays. Plays are on board. My text is in the right place. Oh yeah. Oh no. Yes. Beauteous. It's a beauteous. I like it a lot. Looking good, troops. All right. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about that. Got my decent play selections, although none of these buttons work yet. I got to start plugging in buttons. I know I said I was going to start plugging in buttons and starting to make buttons work. One of those is I need to start, being able to select these plays and make them click and go into the playbook. I don't have that stuff yet. Let's see, what happens if I rotate this? That's interesting. I do like it rotated. And it would be great if I can actually, make that all work. What does it look like rotated here? This looks pretty squishy. That's not so good. That's significantly squishy. So I don't know. I'd have to have, I think for some stuff, I would have to have some kind of if I was going to allow rotation, I might have to have this truncate or something. Make it do something like that. Most of these don't look too bad. I don't know if that's practical to allow for rotation. At the moment, it's not an issue. I don't have an idea what that's going to look like in the... What is safe area? Oh, safe. Interesting. So it's like it avoids the camera. That's what that says. What is play unfocused? I don't know what that is. But yeah, once I get this going too, that'd be cool. It'd be nice to have my account page looking a little bit more, I don't know, complete. So I got a lot of buttons to start plugging in. I have some of these features exist, like my playbook. Okay, so I got my playbook, but I also want to put the game plan on here, which means I need to come up with my icons that I want to use for the game plan and the playbook, so that I can separate that. And what I might do is do something a little bit more graphically enhanced, like put a yellow border around the icons when you select them. They're like option buttons. You turn one on, turn the other one on, rather than having the word playbook. Or if it does say it'll be like under the icon, playbook, game plan, and you select one and it'll highlight it, something like that. But I think that'll look better. And then I'll have my filters for offense, defense, special teams buttons. I got to filter those, which would be good if I can get some icons on them. I definitely have some issues with I need to create some defensive plays and make those buttons work. A lot to do. Trying to decide. I want to take a break for a lot of reasons. One is I want to change gears a little bit, do something else, and then I'll come back. I'm going to take a 20-30 minute break. Assuming I don't work on some other task, which is right now another task for me, is I want to start working on my, I got to get my Indiegogo launched. So I got to start do some videos, some updates where I'm at currently so that I can launch that. And then I also need to just do some TikToks and other markety kind of things, because I got to do something to push to try to see if I could get some funding, if at all possible, to help me finish this. And any kind of funding would be helpful. If you're interested in helping me out, awesome. You can do that through my Patreon or my KoFi, because I have both right now. You can do that through the Indiegogo when I launch it. So keep an eye out for that. The link to the Indiegogo preview page is on my description. And what I'm offering, like on KoFi and on Patreon and on the Indiegogo platform, I will be offering like early access. Like you'll just get to use it. I will give, when I have an APK, you'll be able to download it, put it on your app, on your phone, and then you should be able to connect to my public facing Go background, which I need to set that up too. I mean, I already have that all set up. I just need to deploy it and get things out there so it's available to people. And so I need to start doing that. I don't have any APKs yet. It's getting there. It's almost to a point where I could do an APK just to have junk. But right now, there's nothing to do. You can navigate buttons and look at a couple things. So I need to get some gamification going in there, and that's all coming soon. I think it's all starting to get at a point where I can do that. Slowly but surely it arrives. Now these, you can see all these values too. They're not plugged in. In fact, team mastery runtime, success rate, and average yards is actually down the road. So this is going to be looking pretty generic for a while because I don't actually have. That comes as I start getting the simulation going. So that's post-simulation functionality. So we have to get that going as well.